Welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping right into the gritty, totally photorealistic narrative of an absolutely incredible emotional rock ballad. The song is called Lost Your Number, and it gives us this fascinating step-by-step look at how we build up our emotional armor. But even more importantly, it shows what happens when someone just effortlessly dismantles it. We're talking about vulnerability, attitude, and honestly, the sheer terror of actually connecting with someone. So we're going to break down these lyrics scene by scene and really visualize exactly how this protagonist's carefully constructed world comes totally undone in just a single night. Right off the bat in the pre-chorus, we get hit with this line, "Danger always wears a nice disguise." And wow, that instantly sets the edgy, super cynical tone for our main character's journey, doesn't it? This is definitely not a story about love at first sight. It's a story about deep suspicion. For her, a nice smile or a little moment of charm isn't an invitation. Nope, it's a threat. It's a massive warning sign. The lyrics explicitly frame genuine connection as a literal hazard, showing us right away that she treats romance like a battlefield where you've always got to stay on your guard.
Section 1. The Usual Kingdom. Building Walls.
To figure out why she's so guarded, we really need to look at the environment she's built for herself. It's a jarring contrast. On one hand, her reality is numb and completely predictable. Picture the same old bar, the bartender polishing glasses, and this familiar crowd of broken hearts basically just pretending they're proud. It's kind of melancholic, but you know what? It's safe. It's a routine. But then, enter the intruder. The lyrics describe him as a detail that didn't belong. It's literally just a beard, a smile, and a pair of curious eyes over by the window. But that's enough to immediately make her entire rhythm feel wrong. That contrast is absolutely crucial. Her static, gray safety gets completely disrupted by the unpredictable, vivid presence of another person.
Section 2. Playing the game. Calculated defenses. She doesn't just freeze up when this happens. Instead, she executes this highly calculated approach. It's a step-by-step routine she's played, as the chorus says 1,000 times. A perfectly calibrated system to guarantee she never actually gets hurt. Step 1, spark a little fire, maybe create a bit of chaos, just to survive the lonely nights. Step 2 is setting the rules of engagement. No promises, no scars, and absolutely no staying after closing time. And then step 3, the most important one, disappear before desire actually sets in. It's basically emotional hit and run. She gets the validation and a fleeting connection, but she pulls the ripcord before any real vulnerability can take root.
So when the intruder initiates contact, she immediately launches her counterattack. And I think we can all relate to that favorite look maneuver, right? He buys a drink, she rolls her eyes, but laughs anyway, and then she deploys her weapon, the look that, according to the song, usually gets the kill. For her, it's a power game. She fully expects him to take the bait and stick to the superficial script. But notice how the dynamic totally shifts here. He does take the bait, yeah, but then he starts making sense. The absolute second he stops being a generic target and starts being a real grounded human being, while the game stops being fun, that is exactly when things get dangerous.
Section 3. Running away, retreating to safety.
The spark has happened, she senses the danger, and her instincts just take over. This is the ultimate act of self-sabotage. She takes his number, playing the part, keeping up the facade of the game, and then she immediately deletes it. And man, the most heartbreaking part of that lyric is the justification, like I always do. This isn't just a one-off mistake. This is her standard operating procedure. She is sprinting right back to her safety zone, erasing him completely to keep her walls intact. Because hey, if she doesn't have the number, she can't make the mistake of calling it, right?
But here's the thing, deleting a number doesn't actually delete a memory. The pacing of the night just spirals from here. In the afternoon, the stubborn fact is that he simply refuses to leave her head. So by midnight, she really escalates her distractions. The lyrics say she's breaking boys at pool, running tables, and running mouths. She's literally running circles around herself, desperately trying not to think about the stupid way he laughed or how he looked at her. And then we hit late night, the breakdown of the song. The red lights, the last round, one more song, one more crowd. She has completely exhausted every possible avenue of escape. The distractions have officially run out.
Section 4. Shape of Love. The terrifying truth.
Slowing things down, the running finally stops and she's forced to face exactly what she's been running from. The cinematic tension peaks with just 4 words. Then, there you are. All that noise from the pool tables, the crowds, the red lights, it all just fades away. The guy from the afternoon, the one whose number she deleted, miraculously reappears right as the bar is shutting down. It's pretty much the worst-case scenario for her defenses, but honestly, the best-case scenario for her heart. What I absolutely love about these specific details from the third verse is the sheer knowing confidence of the intruder. Picture his posture. He's leaning against the table like he's been there the whole time, one eyebrow raised, a crooked grin that she literally describes as illegal. He isn't acting rejected at all. He acts like he understands exactly what she's been doing. And then he springs the perfect three-word trap. He doesn't ask for her number again. He doesn't ask why she ran off. He simply smiles and asks, "Lost my number?" It's a total masterclass in disarming someone. The immediate result of that question is the total, instantaneous collapse of her emotional armor. It's wild how fast it vanishes. The lyrics tell us that in the face of that single sentence, every clever answer, every single wall, every rule, and every defense just dissolved. Poof. We've spent this entire explainer talking about the intense, complex system she built to protect herself. And here it is, completely wiped out in equal measure, dissolving into absolutely nothing in a split second. And this wasn't some planned surrender. The final chorus details a sheer, overwhelming shift in her reality. Look at the aftermath. For someone who has played this game 1,000 times, suddenly, her heartbeat changes, the room disappears, the entire world rearranges itself. There were no warning signs for this, no grand design from above. All of her armor was bypassed by, as the song goes, one stupid sentence, one reckless kiss, and the terrifying shape of love. That word terrifying is so key here. It validates every single fear she had at the beginning of the song, but it ultimately proves that the terror is actually worth it.
Which brings us to the outro, delivering this really profound realization. It redefines a core concept for us. Home, according to the end of this narrative, isn't a place. It's a person standing right in front of you, smiling like they knew all along that you'd eventually stop running. This beautiful definition just completely synthesizes the entire message of the lyrics. It transforms the intruder from a source of danger into a safe harbor. He wasn't chasing her to trap her. He was literally just waiting for her to exhaust herself so she could finally come home.
To wrap up our explainer today, I want to leave you with a thought to reflect on. We've seen how meticulously a person can build up their walls, and how beautifully those walls can be dismantled by someone who actually pays attention. So, what are the rules of your game? What's the armor you put on when you walk out the door? And deep down, who are you hoping will finally have the patience and maybe that crooked grin to break those rules for you? Because as this story shows us, sometimes the absolute best, most terrifying thing you can do is just let the walls fall. Thanks so much for joining me as we unpacked this. Keep seeking out the stories that make you rethink your own reality.